Well, I started playing Halo when I was like 11 years old, and this was like middle school. I played all the Halos, Combat Evolved, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo Wars, Halo ODST, but around college, things started dying down for me because I just didn't have enough time with all the work and everything. But once Halo Reach came out, I had some free time, and what I did was I just kind of played Halo for like 2 months straight for like 16 hours a day. It got pretty bad, and right now I think I'm like at the rank of like Mythic. Yeah, pretty high up there, I think at least. The truth is, I actually don't have that much of a film background. I started doing these car commercials and car videos about 2 years ago. I kind of got my foot in the door, but recently, about a year ago, I went to film school, and that's where I learned a lot of things that I needed to know. And most importantly, that's where I got the opportunity to pursue a project like this. Well, remember that period of time when I played Halo for like 2 months straight? It was roughly around then when I started reading into the storylines and, I started delving into the universe of Halo. I just felt like it just had so much potential to be made into a film. And I was a little upset that nobody had really tried, or not really tried, but like, there's nothing substantial to show for it. That's why I kind of went ahead and tried to do a Halo project of this level, because I just felt like Halo deserved something more. Well, as much as I would love to do a full-length feature film for Halo, I just feel like its universe is way too vast to be covered by 120 minutes of film. A web series kind of allows us to take a small portion of that story and expand upon it successfully. The problem with doing a big feature movie is that people often get a lot of expectations, and when things don't go their way, they get disappointed and they say, oh, the movie sucks. And I personally don't think I'm ready to take on that challenge yet. So we kind of want to ease our way into that process and, start small. But at some point in time, I do want to shoot a feature-length movie for Halo. Wow, let's see. One of the things that really inspired us was that Mortal Kombat short series that came out. And they were really looking to get the same thing as we were, and that's, funding, investors, getting picked up. And they went about that pretty well. What else do we have? We have the Fallout series. Well, it's not a series, it's a short that came out earlier as well. That, plus the Portal short. You have the Batman shorts that are online. Those are really, really cool. And on top of that, we had a guy come in and audition for us. He was actually on a Splinter Cell web series, and that looked really good as well. So those are just a bunch of fan-made films that kind of got us off our feet. Well, as you can imagine, with any type of production, we're going to face a multitude of problems on and off set. One of our biggest problems we had was we fired our VFX team, our original VFX team, like a week or two before we started shooting, and we had to switch to a new one right away, and that was really tough. Another thing we had was we had a big panic over the scheduling conflicts because the week we had slated to shoot was actually when the hurricane, a really big hurricane that hit the East Coast was supposed to hit, and we had to shift everything back a week. Yeah, I mean, that was tough because, if everything's planned for one time and you have to shift everything, it's a hassle, and it's a problem, and sometimes schedules don't mix up. But luckily, we pulled through that. Well, I feel like Halo has seen its fair share of CG portrayals over its time, and live-action films has characters that, will help an audience connect to the film better because, we as human beings can go through what they're going through. I've seen a lot of good CG films out, but the thing is, I feel like if you watch Halo, we do a Halo CG film, wouldn't that just be like watching a cutscene from the game? Well, generally for most of my film projects, what we do is we go through a casting process that spans a couple days. Jumper is no different. Most, if not all, of the cast involved has gone through this process. Although everybody here is a working actor, nobody was paid on set. But it is also safe to assume that this is a really substantial project for everybody involved. Well, we've gotten a lot of positive reactions from the public from the trailer, and that's helped us translate into getting a lot of articles written about us on, gaming sites, movie sites. And that's really, really cool. I actually didn't realize we would get to this level of publicity, which is, I don't know, I think it's a pleasant surprise for me. What's also interesting is that before we launched the trailer, nobody really knew about us. We had we had a decent amount of views on our teaser. We had a bunch of likes on our Facebook page, and we figured people would at least, somewhat know about us, but not really. So when we hit with that trailer, it really hit people hard because we came out of nowhere and we made a huge impact. Well, for our post-production and VFX, stage, we are going through a lot of Adobe software to help us cut and, render. And we're doing, for the animation, we're doing a lot of Maya and other 3D softwares that are helping us with that process. As for being on set, the camera that we used was the Red MX, and that's the same camera that shot a lot of blockbuster movies like Pirates of the Caribbean, Social Network, and that sort of thing. That's really, really cool. I just feel bad for the viewers that aren't going to be able to attend our private premieres in January, because you're not going to be able to, experience the full resolution, the quality on a big screen. YouTube is great, but it's going to compress that video a lot. Well, that's a good question because, a couple of years ago, the effects that we have in this movie could have only really been done by a large budget studio. Today, with computers getting so fast that, we can render video and animation so effectively, essentially I only have one person, Mario Peche, who's responsible for all the VFX on Halo. And, for one person doing that, I think it's pretty amazing. To be honest, I really haven't been too impressed with the video game to movie iterations out there. One of these movies that come to mind is, I'm sure some people will agree, Hitman. It was a great video game, but when the movie came out and I watched it, I was a little bit disappointed. And that goes for a couple other movies out there that have done the same thing. Well, quite the opposite, actually. I felt like I had something to prove when I was making Halo. A lot of times when studios turn a game into a movie, honestly, half the people don't even know what the story's about or the game's about. As you probably know by now, I'm like one of the biggest Halo fans out there. So, I really wanted to do the series justice when I took the project on. Well, I was so caught up, in the actual shooting of the film that I barely had time to notice what was going on around me. But come to think of it, in hindsight, it's kind of funny to watch people shoot at invisible aliens all day long. What else? There was this one time right before, we started shooting, and we had to do rehearsals, and my producer had been out for a little bit, and she was holding all the permits. So we went ahead and went on set anyway with guns, big suits of armor. And we were doing good for a little bit. And then all of a sudden we get these bunch of FBI guys, I don't know what they were, US Marshals. They come out pointing like assault rifles at us. It was kind of nerve-wracking. Well, we haven't heard anything from Microsoft just yet, but we are hoping to hear from them sometime, maybe. But we do also sincerely hope that they enjoy our series and they do let us continue making, more episodes, of course, with their permission. Just want to give a big shout out to Xbox Edge. Thank you guys for interviewing me. For all you viewers out there, we're having our premiere in January 2012 in New York City. I welcome you guys to come by, watch the full episode on the big screen, see what it's like. And if you can't make it, it's going to be okay. We're going to have our full episodes on helljumper.com, so you guys won't miss a beat.